Franken's first election over Norm Coleman. That was clearly within the margin of voter fraud.
Well, and once again, Conyers is brought up, and there's another, of course, he's going to be replaced by his son or a Coleman Young Jr. or somebody else. It would be nice if somebody like John James would take that position, go for that. Somebody who'd be a conservative Republican from Detroit, like Keith Butler did, was mentioned on an earlier show, took office. And, the whole thing is falling apart because of sexual harassment allegations, sexual assault allegations. And there's a candidate for the state attorney general. Derek, you got that? And she's running for office, and she has an interesting platform. Her name is Dana. I'm not going to give her last name at the suggestion of a friend of mine because we really don't want to promote her. You got it, Derek? Go ahead.
If the last few weeks has taught us anything, it's that we need more women in positions of power, not less. So, when you're choosing Michigan's next attorney general, ask yourself this. Who can you trust most not to show you their penis in a professional setting? Is it the candidate who doesn't have a penis? I'd say so.
I mean,
wow.
Really? A friend of mine in California,
is...
Gil, pointed that out to me. It's like,
wow.
Hilarious.
And she is running for Attorney General for the state of Michigan.
General. Yep. I saw that on YouTube.
But Democrats will take her seriously.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, in response to her, though, we have plenty of neutered Republican candidates to run for office. I think we have one as governor right now. So, yeah, along your lines of he won't do anything. Yeah, there you go. We have a nice neutered Republican establishment. So there's no threat.
Right. Well, now you'd mentioned the Detroit situation as far as the recount and the need for an audit. Pat Kolbeck was trying to do something about that. I haven't talked to him lately. I wrote something to him on Facebook, hadn't heard back from him as to what the status of that is. But I got to ask, given Michigan's recent history, do you have to be a female to be Secretary of State in this state these days? Because I got to tell you, Stan Grote has got a plan that will rein in the voter fraud. He will take it seriously, whereas
Ruth Johnson
and Candace Miller and Terry Lynn Land all talked big but did nothing.
What a sexist notion that all the secretaries of state have to be women. Right. Secretaries, But
that's been the history as of late.
Yeah, but that brings up a good point. Is you were writing to Patrick Kolbeck, who's running for governor. There's somebody else who's running for governor who could do that. And speaking of ineffective and neutered, he hasn't said a word about it. Who might that be? Let me think.
Bill Schuette?
Oh, geez, yes, our Attorney General. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Schuette the duty?
In 2010, Bill Schuette made a point of hitting every Tea Party caucus to go in and say hello and speak and show how conservative he was, just to be a big disappointment to the conservative movement in the state of Michigan in his time up in Lansing. I met him. I talked to him. I sat down with him at one of the conventions. He sat at my table, and we talked and had a good old time. And I actually supported him at the convention to nominate him to run for.
You didn't know better, right?
You know what? He was saying all the right things, and that's what politicians do. Where at Kolbeck, I know Senator Kolbeck. He's an honest man. I know him, and.
Yeah,
and people fall into the the Bill Schuette concept. They're being duped.
Eventually we'll have Pat Kolbeck interviewed on this show if he ever deems to call in and be interviewed.
Well, Pat has got a proven record. You don't have to take his word for it. You can see his proven record. And
Absolutely.
It's the same thing with Bob Young for the Senate. He's
Absolutely.
got a proven track record.
Yep.
I have to get both of them back on my show.
Oh, well, Me first. Gary,
no, that's only because you're on first. Yeah.
Don't fight, gentlemen. Don't fight.
Ed and I will be arm wrestling during break to find out who's going to get who on first.
Hey, Joe, did you read about the latest allegation, though?
A special 2-hour session of the two shows combined.
Well, yeah, stick around. Stick around
for that. Hey, I have a special guest who's going to be joining me during Moment of Clarity. I might as well announce that now. Stay tuned. It's going to be a fun guest. Ed Bonderenka.
So, Joe, there's been one more allegation out of Hollywood of a famous celebrity groping and fondling.
Yeah. Dustin Hoffman you're referring to?
No, it's actually Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, I have not heard this one. You're breaking news to me.
She said Bruce has been fondling her for years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I walked right into that. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, it's horrible. I think they both ought to go to jail.
That's a good
Well, I think he's a Republican. I'm not sure about her.
Well, let's see how further down the hole we can go. Joe, you've really taken us to some places
new lows.
Have gone. Yeah.
Well, to get back to seriousness, I heard you last week mention about John James potentially running for the Conyers seat, and I really like that idea. That would be good. Let him get his feet wet doing that, too, and building cred in Wayne County, which, of course, we need to carry statewide races for the Senate. That way he'll be better prepared, and I'd be behind him 100% to run against Peters in the Senate in 2020, assuming that he would lose to Conyers Jr. or Coleman Young the second. But who knows?
Well, Lena backed out.
Take a shot, yeah.
Lena backed out for a House run. You know, there's no shame in that. Let John James do it, too.
I think that would be a good idea.
All right, well, that makes two of us. Anybody else got an idea? Oh. You know what? Let's see now. I've got a couple minutes for Ken. Joe, I'm going to let you go right now.
Just hang up on him.
Take care, guys.
Bye, click. Okay, hey, Merry Christmas, Joe.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Thanks.
my friend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's the hang-up button, right?
Okay.
And that's the Ken from Livonia button, right?
Yeah, I just want to quickly comment that as we begin to celebrate the Christmas holiday and people are setting up their Christmas trees, it's important to understand where it came from, the tradition. And it can be traced back to Martin Luther, who started putting a evergreen tree decorated in his home.
And why was that?
With a star on top. And this spread, people came into his home, they seen it, and this tradition spread, but he had a meaning behind it.
What was that?
Well, he said that it was a symbol. The star representing the birth of the Christ child, and he said as you look at the tree, the bottom of the tree was a symbol of the Christian congregation, the believers. And going up the tree, the Christian congregation was looking up towards the whole, the star, but also up to Christ.
Yeah, cool. I had also heard that because the tree was an evergreen, it spoke of the evergreen resurrected life that Jesus had and offers.
That's true. That's where it all started from.
Rick?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you to please call in again during next hour, share that story again. I wanted to comment on it last time, but we got caught up talking about eggnog. But yeah, it's again, I'm not one of these bah humbug anymore about you can't have a Christmas tree because of Jeremiah, because I'll tell you what, I don't think anyone who has a Christmas tree in their house is saying, I'm putting this up here to represent an Estroth pole. Yeah. I don't think anybody goes into it with that mindset. I think they're going into it to bring joy into the season into it.
Yep.
And if we can bring a good Christian picture to the Christmas tree, as Ken is doing, I think it's a wonderful idea.
Oh, music.
And I think it's important to stress.
All right, Ken, Merry Christmas. Thanks for calling in. Always good. Talk to you later.
Hey.
And so, folks, come on back after the break. We'll do more of this. Once again, the number is 822-1600. I got the nod of approval from Pastor Rick. I got it right.
Hi, this is Linda Hughes, General Manager at Wham Talk 1600. Christmas is my favorite time of the year for so many reasons. Getting together with family and friends, watching timeless Christmas movies, and of course, the Christmas carols. The best thing about Christmas is that love is in the air. It's the miracle that happened on that very first Christmas night. Linus says it best.
For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. President Trump sounding upbeat regarding the GOP tax overhaul bill that Congress says will be passed in the coming week.
This really will mostly benefit the middle class and jobs. Companies are coming in, they're pouring into the country, they've already started, and this will be great for jobs. It'll be fantastic for the middle income people and for jobs. It'll also benefit lots of other things. I mean, we're looking to, if you look at the whole thing, everybody's going to benefit. But I think the greatest benefit is going to be for jobs and for the middle class.
President prior to departing for Camp David for the weekend. The votes expected by the middle of next week. Democrats fear the worst.
Democrats are nearly unanimous in their opposition and frustrated that they, as the minority, were shut out of the process. They don't believe that all Americans will be better off under this bill.
Fox's Doug McElway. The president says he'll sign it by Christmas. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Your bridge to recovery and wellness is WellBridge. WellBridge is redefining the rehabilitation and nursing care experience with the most amazing resort-like care facilities you've ever seen. Their driving goal is to provide each guest with an epic experience. And in their pursuit of excellence, WellBridge asks each guest to complete a customer satisfaction survey after their stay. To date, they've earned a satisfaction rate of 100%. Here are some of the comments received. This is my home away from home. This place is outstanding and everyone is super kind. I am beyond pleased with all the care I received. The staff is so passionate for what they do, and it shows. This was my mother's third stay here, and she always loves it. I've referred this place to many already. My stay has been fantastic. For rehabilitation and nursing care, ask for something epic. Ask for WellBridge in Brighton, Fenton, Novi, and Pinckney. Now looking for talented nurses and certified nurse assistants to join their growing team. Learn more at thewellbridgegroup.com. WellBridge, your bridge to recovery and wellness starts here.
It's been 5 years since we met Kelly Brighton, just before her weight loss surgery.
I was almost 300 pounds. Because of the Michigan Bariatric Institute, I've lost the weight. I now have the tools to keep it off. I am a better mom, I am a better wife, and I'm just a better Kelly Brighton, I think.
Begin your journey. Try a free monthly educational seminar at St. Joe's Livingston. Visit stjoeshealth.org/MBI to learn more.
Hey, and welcome back to The Drift. I hate to talk over that music. Gary turned me on to that. One show he used it as bump music, and though I'd been using, what's that detective theme now? Peter Gunn.
Peter Gunn,
yes. Which I enjoy. I thought this would be a little bit more apropos and let people think that it's still Gary's show.
Yeah. We'll let them think that, right? Yeah, nod, wink, wink.
Yeah. So, like I said, welcome back. Got Pastor Rick in here in the guest chair, helping me along. And, of course, we've got Derek across the glass, pushing the buttons, turning the dials, and making sure everything goes right. And we got a call from Barb from Ypsilanti, and if she'll wait a bit, I've got an ad to do, and then we'll get right to her. So we're going to talk about Epic rehabilitation after surgery or hospitalization. Epic WellBridge. Now, if you're looking for a rehab facility, these are the people you want to talk to. They have many locations: Brighton, Fenton, Novi, Pinckney, Rochester Hills, Romeo, specializing in post-acute rehabilitation and nursing care. WellBridge makes rehabilitation easier with their smart design, innovative concepts, authentic hospitality, and commitment to their guests. Wellbridge centers are designed to provide a bridge to recovery and wellness, and they can be found at their website, which is thewellbridgegroup.com, www.thewellbridge, WELLBR